Today, we're going to go through the whole process here of how to even get signed up on Walmart Spark. Then we're going to go through the next phase of when you actually get on the platform, and we're going to look at a few different orders, what the orders even look like, which orders to even take. And when you do accept an order, we're going to watch some videos of myself to see how I got through like a package delivery and even a shop and deliver. So there's no reason to wait. Let's get started. So very first, let's go ahead to the sign up page. This is where you're going to actually log in to your Spark driver account. You're just simply going to put in your email address. And when you do get your email address in there, all you do is just press continue. Then you have on this next screen where you just put in your first name, last name, phone number, then your password. Then all you have to do when you get scrolled down and hit continue. And make sure your password's at least 8 characters long, uppercase and lower cases, and at least one number or a special character. Then we're here for eligibility. This is what it looks like, where it says here who's eligible to earn on Spark Driver app. You will have to maintain the following requirements. Of course, you have age, at least 18 years old, authorized to perform services as an independent contractor in the U.S., personal information and identification, a social security number, a U.S. home address, no P.O. boxes, a valid U.S. real ID or a U.S. driver's license, and a social security card. Next is the mobile device, a U.S. phone number, a smartphone with a camera, and a GPS. Then you scroll down just a little bit. Then you see a vehicle. Make sure it's clean, reliable vehicle for deliveries. Then it says up-to-date auto insurance in your name for the vehicle you're using on trips. Then all you gotta do is hit next. Then all you gotta do is verify your eligibility. To earn on the Spark Driver app, you will need to maintain the following requirements, which is gonna be basically what we're just gonna talking about of your age. Yes, you're 18. Then it says, do you currently work for Walmart Sam's Club? Of course, I do not. And if you do, I believe that does conflict. So you may not be able to do both, as far as I'm aware of with that. Click next. Then you have customized communications, where you can opt in to receive text message, which is optional. And by checking the box, you agree to receive promotional text messages from Spark Driver and its affiliates to the number you provided at sign up. And on that second one, where it shows opt in to receive emails, well, that's optional as well. Whether you check on both, check on one, or check on none of them, just hit submit, which leads you to the next one, which is where you enter your zip code. So this is going to actually check on your nearby areas, all the little Walmarts in your area. So it even says, enter your zip code to see where you can make deliveries. So once you push in your zip code, go boop, 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 boop. And then it comes to this. Checking nearby delivery zones. And it says, then you got to just choose the area that you're actually wanting to Spark in. It also says after you complete the minimum number of trips in the zone you sign up with, you'll be eligible to change zones anytime. So you can just kind of scroll around, see what actually works out for you or best suited for you in your area. Then you just want to go ahead and click on next. Then a lot of times you'll see this little booger right here where it says this zone is currently full. I almost feel like that's forever. Everybody goes through this, I feel like. Leave in a comment box, have you ever signed up where you did not get this notification? Because usually I have to be waiting for not only weeks, I think I waited for months. I think it was like, 2-3 months I waited for. It could have been longer than that, actually. It took a while. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it could have been like 4 or 5 months. But the whole thing is, when you do get on this app, it's actually, for me, in my opinion, it's definitely well worth it. Because if you're going to do any of these gig apps, and if you have some good Walmarts in your area, especially if you have more than one, that you can be doing pretty well, where you maybe be able to ping pong off of some of these Walmarts instead of just going that same one over and over and over. So what that means when I say ping pong is like you go to one Walmart and maybe you get an offer that sends you close to another one. So you drop off, then you might be like a mile or so away from a different one. So you can ping pong pick up there, go to another location where you're kind of still close to another Walmart. So you're just kind of ping pong back and forth, and you're making pretty good money. But if you ever had a yo-yo back and forth, and what that is like you pick up from that one Walmart, you go to the customer, and you go right back to that same Walmart, pick up, go to the customer, come right back. So that's the yo-yo, because you're always coming back to that Walmart. Now let's just go ahead and let's see what an offer looks like. Here's an example. And as you see, it's just for you, because not all of them look like this. They're not all going to be just sent just for you. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But let's just look at this example where it's $24.15, 2 different stops. This is actually including the stop there at Walmart and the stop at a customer. If you had 2 customers, then it would say you have 3 stops. If there's 3 customers, you'd say you have 4 stops, because you got to stop at Walmart. Now, let's say if you have a situation where you go to Walmart and you're getting a pharmacy order and you're shopping for that same customer. From my experience, the pharmacy order is a separate stop. Then that's going to be the Walmart. That's 2 stops right there. Then it's going to be your customer. So don't let it overwhelm you. You don't have to really worry about the stops, but I'm just kind of letting you know about it. But your main thing here is your money to miles ratio, because the goal is going to be finding offers that's $2 plus per mile, maybe $1.75 per mile. And if it's slow, maybe even $1.50, but I more recommend that maybe on food delivery. Now, here's something more important than the dollar per mile ratio. It's the dollar to time ratio. How much can you make when in that 1 hour? Because my goal for my market is like really just banging in the riches. So usually my goal is more like $20 an hour. Minimum goal. I'm trying to get to 25 when I'm doing Walmart Spark. That's my main goal. So if I'm somewhere in between that, or if I'm over that, hey, hallelujah, we're good. But if I can be around that $25 an hour, that's a good bread and butter. And we see this offer actually takes 36 minutes. So $24.15 and 36 minutes, excellent. Now, if you hit that little arrow, it'll actually show you like how many items it is and the quantity. So it might say something like you have 18 different items and the quantity is 24 because you keep getting some multiples. So that's also a good thing to know. I wish I had the picture for you, but I don't have it. Now, this is actually a really good order that you can accept, because you got the dollars per mile ratio, you got the dollar per time ratio, so you're really set up really good here. Because when we're really focusing on that dollar per time ratio, the next thing you actually want to think about would be, how long is this really going to take me? Because just because it says 30-ish minutes doesn't mean that you're really going to take that long. Sometimes less, but most of the time it could be more. So prepare yourself for that. You might want to think of just like, this could take me an extra 10, maybe even 15 minutes. But if you're still under the hour, you're still good. And by the time you come back to that Walmart or a Walmart that's near you, you still got $24 right there in your account for that offer, and you're starting on your next order, hopefully over $20. Personally, I don't want to take an offer nothing less than $20, because just to kind of guarantee my first hour to be over $20 an hour. But that's just, as for me, in my opinion, you can figure out maybe something within your strategy that can actually might help you. So maybe from my experience, maybe that will help you. You can let me know in the comment box. So we also just saw an order where I showed it was like just for you. So let's look at an example right here. Now you're going to see like multiple different Walmarts right here. Like I might be one near my area, but I'm going to see some where it's going to say Cedar Hill. There's another Cedar Hill. There comes like a Waxahachie one as we keep on scrolling. But we're also going to try to find what offer suits us the best. But I'm just going to stop here just for a second, because even like I see like a $13.35, 13.9 miles, this quoted to be 46 minutes. I would definitely say no to that. It does not meet my dollars per mile ratio, and it's in the time ratio, but we're only getting 13.35. So that's an easy no for me. Even if you look at the one right under that, where it's $19.01, 12.7 miles and 46 minutes, Now, that's a possibility if I'm already near that Walmart. If I had to travel all the way to that Walmart, and let's just say if it's like 5-6 miles, no, I would not want to take that, because then I'm right, unless I'm going to be going to that area anyways. But no, I would not be taking this unless I'm actually at near that Walmart. Then maybe I can work with it. But then you got to say, that's 12 miles. Is that 12 miles going to lead me to another Walmart that's in that area? Because 12 miles is actually a pretty good little ways. Then we have a $22.19. Basically, those same miles of like 12.3, then 27 minutes. Now, if I'm actually in that area, and this actually is Dallas. Now, I wouldn't want to just make a special trip to go there, because that's going to add more miles and time. But if I'm already at that Walmart, this might be more ideal. But remember, 12 miles is a lot of miles, even though this would be more that $1.75 per mile. But need to really strategize and see if there's another Walmart that's close by where you're dropping off at. Another important thing to know is these offers right here are first come, first serve. These are not just for you. A bunch of other Walmart Spark drivers are seeing the same thing you are. You can click on that arrow that on that right side where it'll give you more details about what's all in this, how many items it is, what's the quantity, to really make you think, is this really worth it? And I can't stress enough, lower the miles, the better. Over $20. And if you can get something that's going to say it's 30, 45 minutes, hey, you might be doing okay there. Now, if you're in like a certain type of city where actually the cost of living is a lot, and your goal might be even higher than $20, you might be needing at least $25, $30 an hour. So it's always good to know your market. Now, let's actually say that you actually accepted one of these offers here, and it's time to go shopping. And let's say you're going to be picking up from 2 different customers. So you're going to see something like customer A, then you'll see something over like for customer B, and you'll be picking up for both of them at the same time. So make sure you're splitting this thing up in your basket, because you don't want to just pile up everything in your basket and just save it all at the end and separate it then. No, please don't. Separate this thing as you go from customer A to customer B. Now let's look at an example here of me in action. Let's get going. L7, section 4. There it is. Aisle 21, section 12, module 11. Bam, found it. Aisle 30, section 8, module 10. So just a quick little thought there. It's going to tell you the aisle to go to, the section, which this one's section 8, and every 3-foot section will be its own number. So this is section 8, so you just got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But technically, you don't really have to count. Most Walmarts are going to have it already numbered on that aisle. So not only will you have the aisle marked, you'll have that section marked. Then on the actual price tag or Mylar, whichever you want to call it, it's going to have the module number in the top right-hand corner. Let's keep going. And bam, there she is. Let's get 4. The bananas. A2, section 15, module 5. And there it is. And that is the process to actually shopping. Now let's actually look at the checkout process right here. All right, now we got all the items. Now it's time to go check out for customer A and B. All right, now we're here at the register. All we gotta do is get this barcode, scan it right here. Bam. Now it's going to get reviewed by an associate.
A few moments later.
Now that she's just scanned 3 items, now all we have to do is done checkout and now bag the items. All bagged up and we're ready to go. So that right there is the checkout process, then actually bagging it all up. It is easy as that. Then we have the next process, which is actually delivering. Big order complete. And that's all it is to it. So with those shop and delivers, easy enough. Now, if you have a curbside delivery or where you're actually just going to the actual side of Walmart where you just got to park and enter the number on the app, whichever parking spot that you're in, and they'll bring the product to you, that's awesome. Then you just go ahead and go forward with the customer and dropping off. Now let's look at an example of a package delivery. All right, finally got packed full here. Now everything else is organized and let's hope this thing works. So quick note, it's best to organize your products in the way you're actually going to get these delivered. So when you get it all set up, organize it all, you're all set. Here we go. Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, baby. Last TV. And these are just few examples. And you can see so much more in my ride-alongs where you can watch even from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark. And if you do watch these Walmart Spark videos, you can see all these processes step by step. And I really encourage you to watch them because you can really learn a lot. And I hope you receive value out of this video. And if you need more Walmart Spark tips and tricks, see me in the next video.